November 12th, 2017. We're live again on Facebook. It's a beautiful day. All right. So, welcome everyone who's going to join or that's going to watch this on replay. But today is November 12th, 2017. It's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. And I had some feedback today from some viewers on different topics they would like to discuss on the live stream. Being that I have been doing live streams and I will continue to do live streams on a daily basis. So today was one of our viewers who recommended or who asked, Black Friday is around the corner, football boots review, love and respect to you, good afternoon to you, brother. So one of the viewers, it's Miss Kimberly, asked or suggested, I thought it was a good suggestion, to talk about Black Friday, and I'm also going to tie that into, because it's not just about one day, it's about consumerism and society based around consumerism. So we'll tie all those things up together. We'll spend the first section of the live stream to talk about and structure it around that subject. And then as all live streams, I'll leave it open to, to the viewers and to different comments. I am open to talk about politics, religion, relationships, whatever, everything in a respectful and healthy manner. It's the day. Football boots review already has his viewpoint on Black Friday, and we're gonna get into it definitely. So first, we have to understand that Black Friday is basically a day of mass sales. It kicks off the holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, etc., whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. But it's based around a society of consumerism. Now, before we get into the discussion, you have to understand that in America, consumerism is 70% of the economy. Economic growth in America depends on society consuming goods. Every time you go to Walmart and you make a purchase, that's consumerism. Every time you go to the car lot and buy something, that's consumerism. Every time you go to Home Depot and buy a pan of cake, that's a can of paint, that's consumerism. Every time you go to McDonald's, get a Big Mac, consumerism. Okay? Society revolves around it. So I don't want to be disingenuous and start to attack Black Friday, because Black Friday has it has almost like a red dot on its back, and people love to use that and try to say this is what's wrong with society. But in order to have a healthy conversation and a knowledgeable conversation to grow for self-improvement, you have to understand how society functions. And consumerism, yes, it does play a part in a lot of consumer debt, and it does play a part in hurting a lot of people, but it also plays a part in allowing the economic wheel to turn. It also provides a lot of jobs. A lot of people who work in consumerism aspects, whether they sell cars, whether they work at a fast food place, whether they work at whatever. So not in proportion, I think, to what society consumes. I don't think they get a net value. But it's always going to be in a manner that consumerism is part of society, because it goes back to human nature. Shay, how you doing from the UK? Football boots review, and Shay are checking in. Love and respect to both of them. No sale. Yes, I'm going to get back to those comments because I see you coming in with very good comments. What I want to say is that consumerism goes back to human nature. So we can't just blame the government. We can't just blame corporations. If you do that, you won't grow. If you blame Walmart, if you blame Wall Street, if you blame the government on consumerism, you are escaping personal accountability. But above that, you are ignoring human nature. Okay? Human nature. Example. I just got out of Walmart and I had to buy earbuds because my old $10 pair broke after a year of having them. When I went in there, and I'm a minimalist. I live in my car full time, and I have everything I own pretty much in one bag. I was tempted, when I went in there solely for earbuds, I was tempted to buy a pair of winter gloves, even though I already have a pair of winter gloves on my back. So if I already had a pair of winter gloves, why did I even I had them in my hand. I almost went to the checkout aisle with them. Because even me, as far as I've come in disciplining my mind and stripping down myself of materialism, because it's still human nature. It's still human nature. Last weekend I went to visit my mother, and when I sat and was eating with her and spending time with her, she said, "Oh, Sam, look what I bought at the store. Isn't it cute?" And she had bought basically a bunch of things that were on sale that were Halloween orientated, because after Halloween they have like clearance sales, and my mom loves that. And she bought all these like little knickknacks. And now that I have a mature mind, one is I didn't want to mock her, and I didn't want to hurt her by saying, "Why'd you buy that?" Because once you come to a mature place, you understand the weakness of human nature, and you learn to either accept people for who they are, or you have to go a different route. But there's no value in trying to change someone. Okay, that's an unhealthy relationship. Never forget that. So when my mom had shown me these things, I just smiled and I said, "I see, Ma, it's cute. It's cute." Because I know, she's almost 70 years old. And so, you have to understand that as well. But what I'm saying is that's human nature. It wasn't Black Friday last weekend. It wasn't, anything extravagant, but it's human nature. All of us, even me, just tempted, an hour ago in Walmart. It takes an extreme consciousness, and it takes extreme daily mindfulness of not to overconsume, to self-control. So you have to one is just focus on yourself. You can't blame Black Friday. If you blame Black Friday, you won't grow. You have to just, one is work on yourself. Strip yourself, your own house, your own apartment, your own closet. I guarantee you right now, as you're doing this live stream, if you just let it go and you go in your closet, I guarantee you 90% of what you have in your closet you don't use. So if you start there instead of starting at talking points such as Black Friday, you will become part of the solution versus part of the problem. It's good to bring these subjects up so that we're mindful, especially for a community that wants to grow. But it always starts with you. Where does change start? With the person in the mirror. So I guarantee you that you can go in your closet and start to throw things out right now. Many people won't, though. Most people won't. But when Black Friday comes around, people love to attack it. And rightfully so, but that's unproductive energy. Your energy should be focused at what you can do today. Today. Seizing the moment and starting your process of simplifying your life. That's kind of almost what this channel is circled around, is a simplified life, with the understanding of I at one time lived with a lot of materialism. So I don't bash anyone that's in that part of their journey. What I do is now I share that I believe things have become better for me as I've simplified my life, but I don't begrudge and I don't attack anyone who isn't ready or doesn't want that life. If somebody wants to live a life of full consumerism, then I say God bless. You know what I mean? Obviously I want to talk about this subject. I want to share that I believe it's wisdom that less is more. I believe it's wisdom to live not in debt. I believe it's wisdom to not to have things that you don't use. Mental harm begins or is enhanced when you have things you don't use. High anxiety is looking around a house of inefficiency. It's looking around at a house of rooms you don't use, of clothes you don't wear. That harms your mental well-being, and that harms society. That being said, it's always going to be there. I could sit here and tell you a grand speech, let's change the world, but you change the world by changing yourself, and that's it. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is trying to get you to join their tribe. I'm not trying to get you to join any tribe. I'm not trying to get you to start a revolution. I want you to start with yourself. I want you to look in your mirror, think for yourself, and do what you want, but understand a couple things. Consumerism, the buying of goods, is 70% of the economy. That's how the world turns. Most people, including a lot of people that'll watch this live feed, 90% of what they own, they don't use. If you do want to change the Black Friday, the clearance sale, the garage sale mindset of consuming, you have to look in your mirror and you have to start with yourself. All right? I want to get to some comments on this. Well, first, Football Boots Review started with, yes, it's a day that people turn into animals. And Football Boots Review is right from the aspect of what he's saying, in my opinion, is human nature. He's saying that this is part of the human nature, and he's 100% right. Shay, no sale buying for me. I'm saving up to hike Angel's Landing in Utah. Utah's a beautiful area. I've never been there, to be honest, but I've seen a lot of different documentaries and stuff. Beautiful area. Can only afford hiking gear. Yeah, I mean, but the wastefulness of clothes, I think, is the most relatable thing to all people. Most people, the biggest area of waste they have is clothes. And like I say, you start in your closet. You can change your life right now. But many people won't, because they say, I paid good money for this. It still has the tag on it. I don't want to throw it away. And I mean, not just, we can go even beyond that. You know how much food is wasted in society? I mean, unless you're in a third world country, most societies waste a huge amount of food. My mom works at Acme. Okay, it's a supermarket in the United States of America. Every day they have leftover bread and perishable goods that by their policy they can't give away because of different, like, basically not wanting to be have a lawsuit against them if somebody said they got sick, etc. They throw perfectly good food away. I mean, it happens in a lot of places where they sell food in modernized society. I mean, and just you look at your dinner plate tonight. You look at your household. You look at when you go to eat at somebody's house. How much food will get thrown away? Even to the point where you eat the food, you even feed a pet, and then the pet doesn't want anymore. You don't want anymore, and it still goes out the window. Waste, inefficiency is a huge part of society. What I am hopeful about and what I see it turning is technology allows us or enhances us to be more efficient, because the more data, the more information that you have, you tend to track your efficiency a little bit better. And I think as we more and more become societies, because it's a universal language now with technology, you know, as technology is integrated more and more in society with data and data analytics, we will become more efficient. Whether we'll become efficient to the point where we don't overconsume, that's debatable. Are you watching X Factor Football Boots Review? Grace to win. Yeah, X Factor Boots Review. Shay, I'm currently in bed. Lazy Sunday. I understand that. I'm watching X Factor and Sam at the same time. Thank you, Shay. I have so many tops I don't even use. Football Boots says, use most of them. I understand. Now, Football Boots Review, interesting, especially with the name of your channel, is that when I sold my house and throw out most of the clothes that were in my closet, you know what I had a tremendous amount of? Football jerseys, basketball jerseys, etc. I used to love sports, and I loved collecting different jerseys of different players. And I can't tell you how many of them I threw out I mean, it hurt me so much to throw them out. But that's that over-consumerism. Because, you know, we want our favorite player. We want different teams that have nice colored jerseys. And that's from a male's perspective, maybe. And then, you know, from the female, they want the shoes of different colors. All of us, male, female, overconsumption, inefficiency. And that's what society, how it turns economically. Black Friday is just one day that tracks that. But I think to only blame Black Friday and to not look at yourself in the mirror every day is not going to help you. And that's the bottom line. It's about helping you and growing you. Let's see. I'm just backing up on the comments. I'm going to get to everybody. I agree with you 100%. Biggest waste is clothes. Yes, and I have compassion because I have been there, so it's no judgment. Shay, my friend is addictive to buying clothes. I have very little, and that's still too much. Yeah, Shay. Yeah, Shay's in a travel trailer in the UK on a family member's property, so I'm sure that she has some level of consolidation and minimalism. And also what she's saying is the addictive nature, the human nature of buying things. I remember at one time when I was addicted, like, to buying stuff on eBay. And when, you know, like, shopping online first came up, like, you know, I used to buy stuff, then I'd put it in the cart, I'd buy it, and then, like, I'd walk around, I'd get so much anxiety, I logged back onto the computer because I felt I needed another one in a different color, and I go buy it again, and I paid double the amount of shipping, because I got so much anxiety after the initial purchase. I felt like I needed another color. And that goes back to the human nature part of consumerism. And that's why companies, what they're doing is they're not really creating the society. What they're doing is they're capitalizing off human nature, which humans are society. So that's how you get it. CR. Oh, hey, how are you, CR? Good to see you. You have great comments. What's up? Love the concept of simplifying. Yeah, respect to it's Miss Kimberly. She suggested it, and then Football Boots Review gave her a thumbs up on that. I have an 8-room house. Wow, full basement. Oof, I've been there when I grew up. Oh, and garage. Oh my God, God bless you, CR. I'm ready to be free. I hear that. I want a good relationship with myself rather than my stuff. CR, you have wisdom inside you. I know from every comment when you share, very insightful. And yes, that is excessive, but I've been there. My family has been there. And yeah, downsizing, it benefits your life. It benefits your life because, too, the more rooms you have, the more storage you get, the more furniture you have to have, the more cleaning you have to do. We've talked about that many times. So I hear that. I hear where you're going. Now, let me ask you this, CR. Have you took the first step to consolidating? The first step to living a simplified life is selling and throwing out. CR, have you took the first step to put your house on the market, or have you started throwing out anything? Shay, 8 rooms, only 1 in the trailer. If you don't count the shower room, and that's enough. Yes, minimalism is freedom. Yes, minimalism is freedom. Now and I totally agree, and that's what I promote. Now what I want to add balance is sometimes people who are minimalist are extremists, okay? And extremism is relative to who you are. Some people say I'm extreme living out of a car, but that's why I want to add balance. I don't want to attack anyone that has a big house, and I don't want to belittle them, and I don't want to shame them. Because again, I've been in that point in my life, and if you have a family or if you just want to work, if you want to work to support a lifestyle of having a big house and having nice things, I don't want to attack you. And that's why I'm very conscious of being fair-minded, and that, yes, at this point in my life, I promote minimalism. I'm against overconsumption, but I also am not one of the extreme minimalist or extreme vegetarians or just an extremist. I don't believe in an extreme mind. I believe in a fair, healthy, well-balanced mind that's confident enough to say, this is who I am, this is what I believe, but I am fair and compassionate enough to let you be you and let me be me. So I want to be fair too to anyone out there who has a different lifestyle choice. It's a choice, but I do think it's wisdom to be mindful on how much clothes we waste, how much food we waste, and how much society wastes in general because of overconsumption, whether it's on Black Friday or any day. CR, yes, taking the steps now. Well, congratulations, CR. And one is, I don't want to rush you. Okay, so I want to, every conversation I want to have, I want to be healthy as possible. So that question, 1, is not to rush you. 2, it's not to put you on the spot. And 3 is, I want to remind you that every long-term goal is obtained by small, daily, consistent steps. Okay? House is not on the market. Getting rid of stuff is a slow process. Slow and painful, so I have compassion. I believe momentum will come. Yes, momentum will come through daily, consistent steps. And in my opinion, no project gets completed until there's a deadline. In my opinion, I want you to do what you want, CR. And there's love and respect here. But I believe that you should put your house on the market because that urgency that somebody is coming next Friday to view your house, you need that fire under your ass to clean your house. Or at least I did, okay? So again, I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want to tell anyone what to do. But I want to share my life with you. Me, I would let my house get dirty until I knew I had someone coming over. You know what I mean? Like, oh, a girl's coming over in an hour or a family member. I'm going crazy cleaning my house. Without that deadline, without that urgency, you will never get it done quick enough. It will be an open-ended, never-ending process. In my opinion, I believe putting your house on the market, getting a real estate agent in there, and having a viewing show, like an open house or somebody comes for a viewing, that date will push you to get things done. And guess what? When I put my house on the market last year, the first couple viewings, my house wasn't 100% ready. It was a little bit still dirty. It was a little bit still too cluttered. But you know what? When you do things for the first time in the beginning, you fuck up and you have to refine as you go. Creativity and progress is document now and refine as you go. First couple live things, in my opinion, have sucked. My first couple videos sucked. And some people may still not like them, but for me, it's all about what your perception is. You get better as you go. But guess what? There's no way to get better if you don't go. You have to start now and refine as you go. House is on the market. Yep, I hear that. CR, good thought. Nothing lights a fire under your butt like folks coming over. Amen. You know CR. CR smart. You know I'm not BSing you. I know it's not easy. And, I'm just going to crack my window a little bit and get a little fresh air. It was a nice day in New Jersey today. If anybody follows my channel, they know I was out and about. I walked around in the forest, and I was by the coastline to get a nice sunrise. And it was relatively warm, in the 40s, even 50s in some areas when the sun was out. And it was just beautiful. Tonight it'll get back cool again, but still decent fall temperatures. And so I was very encouraged today. Just chuckled it all away. Just chucked it all away, Shay says from the UK. It was gone. And respect to Shay, because, again, I love the fact that we're interconnected. Shay is all the way from the UK, so her time zone, I think, is like 5 hours ahead of us, so it's nighttime for her. So, too, the Sundays through Tuesdays will help her join the live chat if she wants to, because she has something to add. Shay has a lot of experience to share. One is Shay, too. She used to live in a boat. And I didn't know, too, that you spent time in Florida, in the Space Coast. I didn't know you spent time living in Florida. I just found that out today when you commented on one of my videos. I thought that was very interesting, Shay. So Shay said, yeah, she just chucked it all away once it was gone. I couldn't even remember what I had in the first place. Yes, once you get past the circumcision, and once you go through that pain of cutting off that excess, you will realize that you were in true bondage. Now, like I said, it's a daily discipline, though. I was just in Walmart, and I almost bought a pair of winter gloves when I didn't need them. You will never get to the point where you can't be sharp. You have to always stay sharp in your mind, and, always ask yourself, is this an emotional purchase, or do I really need it? Now, again, if you want it and you work for it, I am not begrudging you. But and there's got to be something in you if you're watching this channel. I mean, everybody has a different life. But, this channel is based around self-improvement, self-growth, but also minimalism, a mobile life, a simple life. So there's got to be something in you that kind of feels the same way. You define your own life, but if you want to live that simple, sometimes people get upset with me, or not upset, but they say, Sam, why don't you do this with your car? Why don't you get solar? Why don't you set up this? And I understand they have a different way to do things, so I don't want to bash them. But I go back to, I like things so basic and so simple that it's just less stress and it's less aggravation. But some people, even living out of their car, they can't handle that. They need to do a full build out. They need to do solar. They need to do etc. So that consumerism, that Black Friday mindset doesn't just stop when you start to live out of a car, travel trailer, or a tiny home or whatever. That consumerism, that Black Friday mindset will stay with you even if you live out of a Jeep. And people do it. They buy solar, they buy all these different things, all these different shelving stuff that they don't really need, but it's the human nature, like Football Boots Review said. You'll see the animal come out in people during Black Friday. And the animal is the human nature. The spiritual nature is the self-control. The spiritual nature is the discipline. Okay, is the consciousness. However you define your spiritual journey. But for me, as someone who has a biblical foundation with my own critical thinking on top of that, is that it says one of the fruits of the Spirit is a sound mind, a disciplined mind, and self-control. Consumerism or over-consumerism is the opposite. It's back to a little bit what we talked about last night, over-emotionalness. And it's not easy. Because sometimes, like I experienced with my mom and even with my sisters at times, and that's why, again, I accept people for who they are. I don't try to change them. I only try to change myself. Sometimes people just buy things to soothe their mental pain. Like they had a long day at work or whatever, and some people get joy out of going in the store and buying things. Now, the problem is it's a momentary high, and then when they get back home, they have regret, and many of those people go back and forth and they return most of that stuff because they have buyer's remorse afterwards, which I've also experienced in my life, so I don't judge that. But I'm exposing that, I'm sharing that, and we're building on the topic, which it's Miss Kimberly suggested. I thought was a great one. Football Boots Review co-signed about a consumerism society and how 70% of the economy of economic growth is based on you spending, not just spending, but overspending. Is it evil? No. Can it hurt you? Yes. You have to be mindful, and you have to define the balance for you. Everyone's different. Everyone is not meant to live out of a trailer like Shay's not meant to live out of a Jeep like me. I don't want to tell you this is what you do. We need to give each other freedom and individuality. But the overall mindset, in my opinion, is less is more and simple is better. You have to define exactly how that fits for you. Okay, CR, you get seduced. Seduced is a great word by the media. Well, I definitely believe in that. Into believing you are defined by the possessions. It's BS. Totally agree with CR on that comment. Marketing, which is the media, okay? Advertisements. And to be fair, even there's advertisements that run before my videos now, so you have to be mindful. Are advertisements evil? No. But do advertisements play a part in mentally conditioning your mind? Yes. If you're not mindful. Anything does. Anything does. There's a reason that on football Sundays, the majority of commercials are food orientated. Like, you watch football and it's going to be go to Buffalo Wings or TGIS Fridays and go, have a beer and chicken wings because this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Because they're timing those advertisements exactly at a human nature point where you're sitting in front of the TV and you're hungry and, it plays off your emotions. Again, consumerism is not corporations being evil. Consumerism is corporations capitalizing off human nature. So it's just a balance of the two. Hey, Dana, how are you? Hi, Sam. I'm 75% done with dumping all my crap. Painful process, but you're 3/4 of the way there. That's encouraging. I don't do Black Friday. Me neither. I don't buy for Christmas. Me neither. I celebrate our Lord. Praise the Lord. And that makes me feel peaceful. Amen. Now, Dana, great comment. And here's why Dana brought up a great comment. Because, again, people want to single out Black Friday, but it's not just about Black Friday. Every holiday, including Christmas, including Hanukkah, including everything in between, Easter, Valentine's Day, these have all now been geared towards consumption. You have to buy a gift to prove your love. Now, certainly for children, I think, you want to bless your children. So, I don't want to be a Scrooge McDougal or whatever they call it, Mr. Scrooge or... what's the guy? The Grinch. I don't want to be the Grinch. Because I also had a friend of a different faith who didn't believe in any holidays. And there was a lack of lightheartedness that I felt was not wisdom. I think it's wisdom to have a light heart. I think it's wisdom to laugh. And I think it's wisdom to celebrate. So again, I'm not an extremist. I'm not an extreme minimalism guy or extreme person. I think the celebration of holidays, and even sometimes like when I go by houses and they're all dressed up, I think that's magic. So I want to be balanced. And I want to say that I think some level of celebrating holidays and having fun, just fun. It doesn't always have to make economic sense. It doesn't always have to be like, you have to have a level of fun in life. You have to be lighthearted. You have to laugh. You have to laugh at yourself. You have to celebrate. You have to seize the moment because it's not just about saving, living so... that only have one shirt. I mean, it's not just that, okay? But also, even birthdays have become, like now people celebrate their birthday like for a whole weekend or a whole week. And they go on vacation, they plan their whole life. Should they not do that? No, they should. Because I want them to do what they want. But I want you to be mindful that every holiday, not just Black Friday, birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, etc., have become a thing that... it's become a consumption holiday where you have to buy something to prove something, and it's a burden on your soul. It's a burden on your wallet for sure. And like if you get invited to a baby shower, what happens? Believe me, I don't go to baby showers anymore. I'm not even gonna start on that again. But what happens if you get invited to a baby shower? You're on a register list. What's a register list? A register list is someone goes to Baby R Us. They scan items they want. Then they invite you to a baby shower because they're having a baby. They had sex. Now you have to come to their shower and help support them having a baby. And then you get to go online and pick the different items that they want and buy them for them. You think you're going to go to a baby shower and show up with nothing? I mean, I would, because I really don't care. But I won't even go to a baby shower because I don't like going to events. But what I'm trying to say is, it plays a part in everything, not just Black Friday. Let me tell you something. It's Miss Kimberly. She may have a baby and have a baby register. Or whoever. Has anybody on here ever had a baby shower and have a registry? That's consumption. That's consumerism, not just Black Friday. That's why I want to be well balanced. And I want to say, too, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, I don't want to shame you. But I want to expose and share that we have to look at it from a holistic standpoint, not just one day. Okay? And then we have to ask ourselves, what do we want to do? And how do we want to live? Because these decisions affect our financial wallet. It affects our mental health. Having too many things affects your mental health. It gives you extra anxiety. It puts extra stress on your soul. And that affects your quality of life. There's no way around it. And, it also puts you in a hole. It slows you down. You don't live light. You're trapped in a house. You're trapped with stuff. I mean, a couple people are testifying on here and how hard it is to get rid of it. Once you start to bury yourself in that stuff, it's so hard to get free again. That's like if you get free like me, and if you're older and you finally get free, you don't ever want to go back to that bondage. I mean, if you ever watch hoarders, though, now that's on an extreme level, but those people, they're literally buried in their belongings. Now, some of that is an extreme mental disorder. Some people have a little bit of the mental disorder. Some people have an extreme. But they throw stuff out. Their family members come, and they've been doing it for years. That's why they resent them. Then they have professionals come. Then they throw all that stuff out. And in many times, most times, those same people go right back to the garage sales. They go right back to Walmart, and they buy more stuff. It's a mental illness to some extent, too. So we have to also, a mental illness is not just when somebody goes in a church and shoots 20 people. A mental illness maybe is also shown in a certain way. I don't want to be compassionate. I'm certainly not making a comparison from a empathy standpoint, but just from a mindful standpoint, that someone going in Walmart and over purchasing 20 items, it's also a level of a mental disorder. Again, not in comparison of someone losing their life, but in the comparison of mental health plays a huge part in life and in society. And corporations and everyone knows that, and they capitalize off it. So you have to be very careful. And that's why if you are somewhat of a regular follower to my channel, you're kind of getting the theme now that I believe in mind, body, and soul with compassion and empathy, because we all, myself included, fail. But it can't just be sell everything and live simple. Because if you do that, you're going to end up in your car, in a tiny home, in a trailer, hurting. You have to look at it from a holistic standpoint. That you're downsizing materialism. You're not buying into that Black Friday consumption society mindset, but that you're also looking at it from how can I simplify my mental health? How can I improve my mental health? How can I improve my physical health? How can I improve the quality of my relationships? Do I also, in addition to throwing out the clothes in my closet, do I also have to throw out some relationships? Do I also, we talked about last night, have to throw out some of the food in my house? Yes, all right, we got knocked off, but we get knocked down, we keep getting up. That happens from time to time on the live feed. Back to the comments. Dana, I will freely give my time as a gift to someone who is in need, no strings attached. Well, Dana, one is, thank you for that heart, but what I want to tell you is learn to say no. Okay? Learn to say no. Because you can't give from an empty cup. The first person you have to say yes to is yourself. Because if you don't say yes to yourself, you're going to end up in unhealthy relationships. And saying yes to yourself means saying no to others, including when they need help. Because let me tell you something, many people have the means. That's what I've learned in life. Many people have the means. You help them, you let them borrow money, and you know what they do next week? They go on vacation. Okay? You give them something of yours, next thing you know, they trade it in for something else they really want. You give them your time, and next thing you know, they leave you waiting on their door for an hour because they're running late. You have to learn to say no. And so, yes, be a helpful, loving person, but start with yourself. The biggest lesson you teach others in life is how you treat yourself. And people don't respect you if you don't treat yourself with respect. They will, I see it all the time. The weak get preyed on. I don't want you to be a strong bully, and you know what I mean? I don't believe in that. You guys know that if I watch that. But what I want you to do is have the confidence to say no, and I want you to set serious, healthy boundaries. Okay? Uh Shay's coming in. Hey, have ASDA here, the sister of Walmart. Okay, so that's like a Walmart there. Okay, I like Denny's. Do you ever go there? Now, Denny's in America, if I'm Denny's in America is a food establishment. So I don't know if you're talking about the same thing, but I don't go there. I don't eat out anymore. One great viewer, Benny, I forgot his exact tag name, but that was kind of it, Benny. He commented on a different topic he would like me to talk about on one of my live streams related around my daily food intake and what I eat. Since I lost 200 pounds and I started 6 years ago when I started losing weight, I don't eat out at all. The only thing I'll do is I'll go in McDonald's and I'll buy a Diet Coke and I'll sit in there to eat my salad and my tofu, etc., and my beans. Or I'll go to Starbucks and I'll have a coffee with soy milk, no sugar. So I don't buy anything like from Denny's, etc. I'm not against it, again, because I'm not an extremism person. I'm not someone that tells you how to live, but I'm sharing you that I don't eat out anymore. I did for 30 years. I don't do it anymore. Okay. Yes, Denny's in the U.S. Yes, a lot of people like Denny's. I mean, they have a lot of great food, but that food, you eat it. Like I went to, I think I went with my mom last week to a diner. She had like 2 sunny side eggs up, some hash browns and toast. She loved it going down. It smelled delicious, and I just sat there, watched her and drank water. And then she loved it. She had a great time, and I loved being with her and spending quality time with my mother. And then as soon as we left, about 20 minutes later, she was ready to take a nap because that food just shut her body down. You will know 30 minutes after you eat something whether it's bringing life to you or bringing death to you. It's very hard, though. So, again, I don't say that in judgment. CR, love CR. Idea that kindness is putting yourself aside. Idea that kindness is putting yourself aside. I believe we're saying the same thing. I believe if I'm reading that correctly. But yeah, you have to learn. You set the example on how you treat yourself. And I didn't always. That comes with maturity, and that comes with getting taken advantage of, and that comes with self growth. Yeah, in my opinion. Shay, no, never drink Coke. Yeah, I learned that. Well, I do have one Diet Coke a day, I want to be honest with you. Aircraft engineers use it to clean aircraft galleries. Yeah, I hear that. It strips the pipes. Shay, I'm not going to disagree with you. Even Diet Coke has different things in it that isn't healthy. I want to be honest with you. But I also have a level of treat. That, and, like I've shown you guys, I have a little, and I probably should cut down on them. I have a little, like a protein bar, a health bar in the morning. That's processed, really. So, I was living lean where I just add water and fruits and vegetables, and that is great, but there's a level of pain of not having any treat. So I look at the daily recommended amounts, and as long as I'm not doing things in excess, I've added a little bit of balance to my life, because if you don't have any sweetness, then life becomes bitter. And then you say, well, shit, after a long time of being so lean and having no type of treat, you say, well, shit, is it all worth it? Because I'm miserable. So I have a level of healthy treats, and it's balanced my mind a little bit, because when you have no treats, now again, when I say treats, I'm talking about healthy treats. I'm not talking about I'm going to Dairy Queen today or something like that. But it's just helped a little bit better with me having a balanced mind, because when you're so disciplined, when you're working out, when you're eating nothing but healthy stuff and you do nothing fun, you're too rigid. And because you have to be to stay there. You have to be. I've been there. And that's what I was saying, the same thing back to the consumerism topic. I had a friend, because of his religious beliefs, he didn't celebrate any holidays. And I'm certainly not promoting buying into Black Friday and buying into consumerism, but if you don't celebrate a little bit, if you don't exchange some gifts, now they should be in proportion. And again, for kids, you should give kids gifts. You got to make it fun and magical for them. There has to be a level of celebration where it adds a lightheartedness to life. I am not a promoter of extremism, thinking that I don't buy anything and I live out in the woods and that's it. I'm not like that. And that's why sometimes you see I disagree with different people that live that type of lifestyle. Um, but that's just me sharing. Yes. But it's a Sunday, so some good comments. And like I say, it is a little bit warmer today than it was the past few days, which I'm very thankful for. Um, Beautiful day in the forest. I saw some squirrels and I saw some turkeys, and that was really cool. It's good to see animals. And then I also saw an animal, just taking a deer just taking a piss. So sometimes when you see like animals and you say, "Oh, this is a beautiful thing in nature," until you see them take a pee and you take a crap, you realize like they're just like us too. They have waste and everything else. And also I even saw some ducks fighting, like pecking at each other. You see a duck, you see a bird, you think this is a beautiful animal that just flies and has no cares, but they fight amongst themselves too. So they have that within themselves too. Like football Boots Review said that Black Friday brings out the animal in people. It's there. So um, and even as me becoming vegetarian, we talked about that. Even if humans didn't kill animals, animals would kill animals because there are just meat eaters out there. So you're always going to have a level of that in society. Just that raw, animalistic, human naturistic part of society. You'll never eliminate that. No matter how many live feeds you do about that. And that's okay. I mean, that's just part of life. You can't fully understand life. Animals have the power to heal us if we let them. I agree with that, Dana. I agree that animals have a magical quality. I think they have a magical quality because, well, I think they have a quality to us because they can't talk back to us. If I'm being totally honest, that's part of it too. And then yes, they do have a loving, unconditional nature, but amongst themselves, they fight. I had a couple when I first bought my boxer, a boxer dog. I also had a Chihuahua in the house, and they fought. And my boxer, I had a female boxer. She wanted to be the only dog in that household. She was very dominant. So she loved me. I mean, I was like my baby. But in one sense, I don't like to use the word master, but I'm like her master. I'm her owner. She wants to please me. But she was jealous. My dog was very jealous. She had to be the only one in the house. So jealousy, which is a human nature, ugly thing, is relevant and prevalent in animals too. It's just that we don't see it that way because, we're the humans and they want us. They want our love. And a lot of times they want our love too because they know we feed them and we take care of them. Like my dog, also too. I mean, she knew how to play me a little bit too. If we're being honest and we're having an honest conversation, like my dog, and even as she got older, like she would putz around. Like I say, all right, come on, we have to go outside and go for a walk, and she would like be dragging her ass. And then I say, all right, I got a treat, and then she'd be like 2 years old again. As soon as I have a treat, it's like, damn, she's like she was 10. She was like, it was like a senior citizen when I said that we had to go for a walk. But when I said I had a treat, she was like 2 years old again. So dogs know how to. I mean, they know how to play the game a little bit. Green-eyed monster sucks. I don't know. I don't know who Green-eyed monster is. Oh, Green-eyed monster of jealousy. I got you now. I'm a little slow on that one. Yes, jealousy is an ugly thing. And I've also talked about. I mean, that's the story of Cain and Abel, right? Even siblings. They hurt. Tammy from Florida. Boxers are great dogs. My brother had one for 14 years. Yes, Tammy. What's the temperature like in Florida? That's number one. And I didn't know Shay too spent time living on the Space Coast. I love the Space Coast. Yeah, boxers, my opinion, well, I'm partial because I love boxers, but I think they have a great temperament. They look big and masculine, and they look like they may attack you, and they would, but their temperament is so gentle. They were actually rated at one time, boxer dogs, as number one for children. They are very good with children, so you'd be surprised when you see them because they're big and stout. But they're very gentle with children. And I love boxer dogs. It's 77 degrees in Florida. They are big babies. Yeah, they are big babies. She was my baby. That's true, Tammy. That's true. And so Tammy's down in Florida at 77. It's about 40 degrees or so. It's starting to drop a little bit now. It's just around 4 o'clock here in the eastern U.S. It's 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you for giving me Fahrenheit, Shay. Because let's never forget, too, in America, we are one of the only societies, too, that still measures our degrees in Fahrenheit. Most other societies use Celsius. So thank you for doing the conversion, Shay. And I know that too sometimes in my business, like we deal with people from all over the world, and I tell them, oh, it's 40 degrees. And I assume they know it's Fahrenheit because I'm from America. And they go, and they get like shocked because when they do the conversion of Celsius, it's like it's out of proportion for where their engineering needs to be. And it's like, so you have to remember too, as we're in a global society, we have people right now in this live chat room from UK, from Florida, from North Carolina, et cetera, from Georgia. I mean, you have people from all over the world. And so as we become that global society, you fight it like it or not. And you have to remember that, different people measure things different ways. Shay, let me ask you this. I mean, we're talking about Black Friday and consumerism. Now, the UK is very similar to America, but would you say that Black Friday and consumerism is just as prevalent in the UK, or at least where you live, as it is in America? Because you've lived in America. You've lived in Florida. You lived in the Space Coast. Cocoa Beach, I heard you say, in Cape Canaveral. Beautiful parts of Florida. I love those parts of Florida. It's stormy, actually, right now in England, you're saying. Yep. But it's a give and take. I mean, you'll be fighting that, for forever. I mean, as far as not overbuying. Not overbuying is it's because too it's an emotional thing. We're emotional creatures. We don't just humans don't just make decisions based solely on logic. We base some of our decision making on emotion. And to somewhat, I think that's wisdom, because if you just made decisions based on logic, you'd be a robot, and that's not good. You need you need to be in touch with your emotions, but the issue is you need to be in control of your emotions, and that's the hard part. It's 40 degrees in North Carolina, Dana says. Yep, we're in about the same boat, Dana. We're about the same temperature here in New Jersey area, and that's a good thing. Yes, it is. Everyone here is already buying Xmas stuff. Yeah, so I mean, everybody's already started the holiday shopping. I mean, you see that, you go into the stores, the retail stores, and they've started that process. So is it evil? No. Is it something that can hurt you? Yes. Um, you'll look, people buy storage units just to store holiday stuff. And I had one friend a few years ago, and she had downsized. Not too much, but she had threw some stuff out, and then Christmas time had come again, the holidays, whatever, and she was upset because she had to go buy like another string of lights, and she goes, oh, I had them in all my storage, I should have never thrown them out. And I said, all that stuff you had in those lights, I don't even think those lights worked anymore. I said, you have to let that go. But that's the mindset, that if I throw something out, I may need it again. And let me tell you something. If you go and you have to buy something again, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you to spend $20 or whatever to buy more lights if you eventually need them. But, but that's the... I'm back. We got kicked off. Hey, Moon Dancer made it. Enjoyed your sunrise today. Thank you. Oh, and I skipped. I'm going to come back to Moon Dancer. I skipped Shay. Yes. Oh, no, I said that one. Yeah, Moon Dancer, thank you for enjoying that sunrise with me. It was a beautiful sunrise today. And Moon Dancer said that there was also another YouTube channel or a different one that she was watching that also had a beautiful sunrise. And living mobile has allowed me that opportunity to see sunrises and to see sunsets. And that's part of the reason why I've embraced that lifestyle. Because in the morning, you're not going to get up before the sunrise, get out of your house, get your coffee, and get to the beach or some coastland before. I mean, that's a huge effort unless you live right by the beach. And chances are most people don't live right by the beach because that's big money to live right by the nice beach. So, when you're living mobile, that's the benefit. And that's kind of what I also shared in that video, is that freedom and, basically being a bird and seeing the sunrises and seeing the sunsets and enjoying the ride of life. And which is the opposite of consumerism. Consumerism is you're buying and you're waiting for certain days to enjoy life, right? So right now, a lot of people are buying and preparing for Thanksgiving. That's the next big holiday. So they're making plans with their family members. They're buying all the nice decorations for their house. And I don't begrudge anybody for doing it. And they're getting everything ready. And they're inviting people. And some people don't want to go. And they're trying to figure out an excuse why not to go. But they're going to end up going anyway. It's a whole process. And they'll basically, in my opinion, they'll waste all month planning for that one day. That day, when it finally gets here, will be filled with huge anxiety. To be fair, there'll be a moments of tremendous love and great celebration. But is it all worth it to waste 30 days of your life? And I'll say 30 and a half days, because you're not going to enjoy half of the day of Thanksgiving. You only get about a half day worth of enjoyment. So you just wasted 30 and a half days to enjoy a half of day. So you have to be mindful of that. But you feel the pressure that your house, you have to have decorations of turkeys. You have to have all the food and all the fixings. You have to have everyone invited, and they have to come. And if they don't come, you feel offended. And if they don't come, they feel bad. And it's a whole society pressure that's built around consumerism. And so you have to be mindful. We got a couple people checking in. I got to go back on the comments. I apologize. Oh, it's Miss Kimberly. You are late on the check-in, my friend, but it's okay because you have the freedom to do whatever you want, just like everyone else in this chat room. You have the freedom to come and go as you want and to be yourself. You don't have to do anything else but that. Be you. Thank you. It's Miss Kimberly. This topic was dedicated based on your good suggestion, which Football Boots Review gave you a thumbs up. We have talked about Black Friday specifically, but tied together consumerism and a consumerism society, and how 70% of economic growth in society is based around consumption. You consuming products, and not just consuming them, but consuming more than you need. And that's why there is a tremendous amount of waste in society. Wasted clothes in your closet, wasted food that you will throw out tonight, etc., etc. All right. Oh, daily dose of Nirvana. He's a new subscriber. Thank you, man, for subscribing too, man. I noticed you. Book I read years ago and thank you for thank you for being bold enough. Anyone who leaves a comment is bold, because I know it's a little scary. So I want to thank you, and thank you for being overall very positive. Book I read years ago, and I hear what you're saying. I understand the grammar. That was helpful. Is Plain and Simple. Okay, I never heard of that book. Sue Bender. Sue Bender is the book. Daily Dose of Nirvana says we should look into Plain and Simple. I'm going to look into that. It's about a woman from she's a woman from Berkeley, California. Okay, I know that area, who spent time with the Amish. Now that's an interesting one. I will Google that, Daily Dose of Nirvana, later on tonight. Now, the Amish have an interesting way of living. They have from my limited understanding of the Amish, I want to be clear here too. I don't want to act like I'm a professional of the knowledge of them, but from my understanding of the Amish, they live a very basic and simplistic life. Now, my only problem with that is it looks like a little bit of a lack of freedom and a lack of lightheartedness. They seem very recluse, and they seem closed-minded. Seems a little bit of a controlling nature, like the women have to wear certain things, and when you grow up, you have to tend to the farm, and you have to have this, not that it's necessarily evil, because I'm sure there's a great amount of people who do it, but I always get concerned when I just see a little bit of controllingness. Just like I said, it's Miss Kimberly, and like I say to everyone, come and go as you want. Come as you are. Obviously always try to get better, but I just don't like a controlling spirit, and I get a red flag that goes up on my spirit, whether like I said, I experienced in church, in modern society, whether I see with the Amish or whether I see with anybody else. So yes, they're living basic and simple, and we could learn something from them, but you just have to be careful. This is my opinion that, there's not a level of control there too, because if you're not buying into consumerism, that's good. But if you don't have the freedom to be yourself, that's bad. Okay? That's why I was saying too earlier on in the stream that I had a friend that I grew up with. His faith didn't allow him to celebrate any holiday, including Black Friday and including his birthday. And he was too rigid. Like, the fucking guy always had a pole up his ass. And in my opinion, why? Because the guy never celebrated life. You gotta have a little fun too. I'm not an extremist. I am not an extremist. I don't Now, some people say I'm extreme because I live out of a car, but I don't force that on you. And I don't shame people that want more. I just may disagree with it, but my thing is be you. Okay? Be mindful, but be you. Okay? But good suggestion, Daily Dose of Rana. And I am going to search that, and thank you for the suggestion. Moon Dancer, advice on storage: only store what cannot be replaced, or if it has more value than the cost of the storage. Well, that's a good thing. I know my mom, she pays for about $100 a month for a storage unit. Now, I don't really think it's her that wants it. I think she's storing stuff for my sister. And no disrespect to her, but I don't think my sister, I know she hasn't used 90% of that stuff. So everyone, I'm sure, will have their own testimony on it. Let me ask this question to the community of people that are in the live chat right now. How many people, and you can give me a hands up emoji, how many people have a storage unit, and how much do you pay per month? Like I said, I'm being honest with you. My mom pays $100 a month, and so I'm curious. Moon Dancer says, oh, Daily Dose of Nirvana, I'm going to look for that. See? Thank you for sharing that, Daily Dose of Nirvana. People are respecting that. Thank you. Dana, I am working the holidays. I stay busy. Dana, what do you do for work? I know you said, Dana said yesterday, she shared that she was a traffic cop for many years, I believe 12 or 13 years. And what do you do now, Dana? It's Miss Kimberly. I didn't get the notification this time. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Miss Kimberly. I'm not sure why. I know you guys may get a lot of notifications too on my videos. You can change your notification settings. If you say I get too many notifications about my videos, you just tap that bell. If the bell is showing like it has things on the side of it, then you'll get every notification. If you tap it again, you get none. So you can play with that. And that's also through your suggestion and Moon Dancers and others. That's why I made that video. So now going forward, unless it's an exception, I'm going to structure my daily streams based on these times. Sunday through Tuesday will be 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., and Wednesday through Saturday will be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., and I'll try to keep it structured around that. Of course, if there's an off day, then we'll just deal with it. Life is flexible, but that'll be the structure. I'll catch the beginning of a video later. Yeah, no worries. Miss Kimberly, do your thing. Thanks for using my topic. No, thank you. It's Miss Kimberly. One is thank you again for being a great viewer. And you encourage me. And thank you for the great suggestion. And you also encourage, after you added your suggestion, Football Boots Review liked it. And then another brother, Benny, I don't remember his full tag name, but it was basically Benny. He had a suggestion for another video. So I want to encourage everyone who watches this video, if you have a good topic, or if you have a topic, as long as it's not a disrespectful topic, it can be controversial, because again, I'm not going to just, I'm okay with addressing issues as long as it's in a healthy manner. If you have a topic that you want to be discussed on a live stream, please leave it somewhere in any of the comments on my videos. As long as it's respectful and we do it in a healthy way, I'm for it. You have to shed light on something. You have to have healthy dialogue to grow. So I'm open to your suggestions, and I want them, because I don't want this to be a one-sided conversation where I'm sitting here barking at you guys. I want us to engage, you know what I'm saying? Daily Dose of Nirvana. Moon Dancer, it's a quick read. I like quick reads, and kind of a classic now. I'm going to look it up too, Daily Dose of Nirvana. Thumbs up as well back to you. Shay visited the Amish. Shay, you have a lot of great life experience. She visited the Amish in Lancaster. Beautiful quilts. Yes. See, because they live real basic and simple from my understanding. And they basically like have their own community, isolated away from regular quote unquote society. And they build all their own stuff, and they sew all their stuff. They raise their own food. And only once in a while, and on select days, from my understanding, do they leave their community and go to pick up goods and stuff. Excuse me. They're pretty much a self-contained society. Now, in my opinion, I don't fully like that, because I don't think you get enough diverse opinions and enough diverse perspective. But that's just my opinion. I certainly don't want to be disrespectful to the Amish, but I'm sharing that. That's why I gotta get a red flag in my spirit. Okay. It's Miss Kimberly. I used to feel pressure of buying a gift. Me too, Miss Kimberly. Hands up emoji for that. For family members, me too. But not anymore. Me too. I say no. And never been a big gift giver for Christmas. Well, amen. I agree with you, Miss Kimberly. Daily Dose of Nirvana. You can just absorb the elements you find useful from the Amish, like frugality, peace. No, I agree with that, Daily Dose of Nirvana. I think that is wisdom, what you said, and you should apply that wisdom to everything in life, including me, including anyone else. You should only take what is good from them. You should think for yourself, and then you should filter out the bad. So what Daily Dose of Nirvana says is wisdom, and which I always preach. Don't just look at the bad, look at the good that you can take. But my only concern, again, with the Amish is as long as the people in that community have the freedom to leave. Because I've seen some things, and it could be unbalanced reporting, but like different documentaries and stuff where there's a lot of pressure that if you want to leave the community or if you want to think for yourself and you don't want the Amish mindset, let's say you want to be somebody else. You don't want to be Amish. You want to be atheist. You get shamed in that society, from my understanding, and I don't believe in that. I don't believe in shaming people because of their weight. I don't believe in shaming people because of their religious beliefs, and I don't believe in shaming anyone. Certainly, I believe in bringing up discussions and being mindful of things and growing and boldly sharing ideas, but I don't believe in controlling people. I don't. No Man's Land. I love that name. And No Man's Land, welcome to you. Hands up, brother. I love you. Moon Dancer. I paid $100 for a year until, okay, Moon Dancer Sharon, so she paid the same thing as my mom. I paid $100 for a year until I moved into a duplex with a garage. My storage items bring me income on eBay. Okay, so Moon Dancer's on eBay, and I hear that. Now, like I said, one is at one time I was addicted to buying things on eBay. Then I tried to do what Moon Dancer's doing. I tried to sell stuff on eBay, and for me, from my experience, it wasn't worth it. It was too much aggravation, and it's a job, like everything. It's what you put into it, and you spend a lot of time in packaging stuff up and shipping it out. And unless you get it for a deal, you waste more time listing it and everything else. And now with Amazon.com, eBay is tough to really make a living on. Now, to be fair, I have a friend who is very good at eBay. He's done it for years. He's good for two reasons. One is he does it consistently over the course of 10 years. But two is, he keeps a lot of inventory. So you have to be willing to hold on to inventory. And, because you're basically now, you're competing with Walmart. So the only way you compete with Walmart is, you have a level of inventory. Now, I heard some people like that do the eBay thing. They list something that they physically don't have, but they know what they can get for a price. And then they don't buy it until it's sold. And they have to be careful with that because I think technically that's against their laws. But I know different people do that, Okay. Oh, No Man's Land. See, thank you for sharing No Man's Land. No Man's Land has a storage unit as well, so he pays $88 a month. So my mom pays $100 a month approximately. Moon Dancer paid $100 a month, and No Man's Land pays about $100 a month, $88 a month. So that's about the average, I guess, for an average size storage unit. Okay, Dana. I clean houses. Okay. I have a great friend that owns a house cleaning business as well. And that's a huge business. Why is it a huge business? Because overconsumption. Because people buy more square footage than they can clean. So what do you do when you have more square footage than you can clean? You hire a cleaning person, right? I mean, so it's not just about Black Friday. It's about a consumerism mind. That's why I said don't just point out Black Friday and think this is what's wrong with society. Because that's one day when the news media, they'll go to the Walmart that's in a frenzy that has gunshots, but the news media won't report on today someone who bought extra square footage in their house and now they need a cleaning person. You shouldn't need a cleaning person to come to your house. If you do, you have too much square footage, in my opinion. I'm not trying to put Dana out of business. And like I said, I got a good friend who owns a cleaning business. But I have to be well-rounded as we talk about consumerism and how it affects us and how it affects society. I clean houses, being around animals, good money. No, it is good money because there's a big demand for house cleaners because people have too much to clean. So no, it's a good gig. I'm not mad at you. Moon Dancer. I have been a big gift giver now. You have a sweetheart. I understand that. We got to be careful not to give too much though. Now I don't know how to tell them I don't want to give them anything anymore. I laugh out loud. I hear you. Learning to say no is a part of healing like we talked about last night. And it's a part of self-confidence. I mean like $500 per kid and they are adults already. Well, again, everything is relative. Once people are adults, I think it's different. As children, excuse me, guys, I get knocked off. But I was just reading Moon Dancer's comment. Now, again, in balance, I have no problem with a parent wanting to spoil their kid. I mean, there's a scripture that even says, if your kid asks you for, I don't know what it was, a fish, do you give him a rock instead? Of course not. You want to bless your child. But certainly, once children become adults, then you need to treat them like an adult. If you treat your grown child like a baby, they will behave like a baby. That's my experience. So be mindful of that, okay? It's Miss Kimberly. Let Go is an app. Okay, never heard. Oh, I did hear that. Okay, you can use it to sell stuff. Okay, yep. You want to get rid of. I made about $1,200 in 1 month. Wow. And selling things I didn't want anymore. Well, it's Miss Kimberly. Thank you for sharing that app. Because technology evolves. Yeah, and eBay is kind of like old news now. And I mean, now even you have Facebook selling stuff on its marketplace, but Facebook is like a graveyard. Not too many people interact. They just go on Facebook and check in. But I would say apps such as Let Go, I think you make a great suggestion, this Miss Kimberly. If you were into the selling game, I think you should look into something like that. Because I think that would help you sell. I mean, $1,200 in 1 month, that's great. So that's interesting. I never heard of that. Good suggestion, this Miss Kimberly. Good suggestion. Definitely. Yeah, it's hard for people to let go. It's hard for people to sell stuff. No man's land. I'm gonna just start my car, so excuse me a minute here. No man's land. Let's see what no man's land is saying. Excuse the noise. That was just me starting my car, just to charge my battery on my cell phone. And I did buy a battery thing. I'll show you guys later. No man's land said Craigslist the best-selling spot for me. Now, no man's land. See, I had a bad. One is I don't like Craigslist interface. Meaning, like when you go on Craigslist, I can't easily search and find what I want. It's like looking at too basic of an interface screen. And I've had a low-end experience with Craigslist myself. That being said, that's just my experience. But I respect what you're saying. And if Craigslist has been good for you, then I say God bless, man. Moon Dancer, Miss Kimberly says, Moon Dancer, it's hard to say no. Amen. We have to show compassion. It is hard, especially when it comes to family. Definitely, definitely. I would only buy children a gift, not adults. I agree with that. Children, it's a magical time. They should be blessed, but adults, you have to start to grow up. I agree with that. Also, you don't want to be excessive with the gift buy. Yeah, I agree. Moon Dancer. Now, I also want to share with you my life experience. When I was a kid, I remember probably when I acted one of the most immature. I was about 13, something like that, and I wanted Sega Genesis, which was like a gaming console, and I also wanted Super Nintendo. They had both came out, and I was being such a spoiled brat that I remember bothering my mother for months that I wanted both. And she got both for me eventually, but I remember that I really was an asshole. And I mean, that's part of being a kid too, so I don't want to be too hard on myself. But my mom blessed me, but I also remember that I hurt her a little bit because I was a little bit too persistent and a little bit too whiny. And that's hard for a parent because a parent, wants to spoil their child, and I thank God my mom spoiled me many times. I'm not gonna lie. And I thank God that the Lord I remember the Lord even at like 13, telling me I didn't feel right. I felt like, I was being an asshole. And even at that age, I kind of knew I crossed the line. I was bothering my mom too much. So I want to be honest with you too and share different failures in my life per se, or different immature times. Okay. Moon Dancer says there's also an app called OfferUp. Okay, I never heard of that app. That's a good suggestion too, though. We're in an app world. It's Miss Kimberly. I've heard of Offering Up being good too. Okay, so good suggestions. Benny, how are you, brother? I mentioned you a few times. I see. I can't see what comment you put. It may be retracted, but I want to say, Benny, thank you for the comment, and I will address. Thank you for the suggestion. Thank you again to It's Miss Kimberly. Sorry, guys, I got kicked off. But Benny, I didn't get to see your comment. I know it may have been retracted. But thank you for the suggestion. I mentioned you a couple times in this feed. I will address the subject you talked about around my food schedule, etc. So I will do that in another live stream. And Miss Kimberly made the first suggestion. I thought it was a good one, so we went with that. But I just want to acknowledge you. Thank you for the beautiful comment. I appreciate that. And thank you for the suggestion. And again, if anybody has a suggestion for a live feed, put it in the comments. We'll talk about anything. Religion, politics, sex, anything. I really don't care, as long as it's a healthy conversation we can get something out of it. I have some fun doing it too. I don't want to be crazy. Here's this Miss Kimberly. She gave good emojis. Music emoji, Super Nintendo. Yep. Sega Genesis. Yep. Period. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't even picture this. Yeah, I hear you. Song by Biggie. Yep, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Couldn't be this broke. Yeah, I remember that Biggie song. That's true. You got it, Miss Kimberly. Moon Dancer. Yes. Yeah, it's Miss Kimberly. I'm the guilty one for sure. We all are sometimes. Now they have exceptions after all these years. They even tell me what they want. Laugh out loud like a computer. Yeah, well, that's what happens too. Definitely. Well, Now, anyone too in this live feed, what were your holidays like growing up? What were your Black Fridays like, and what are they like now? Have you changed, or are you still in that consumption mindset? I know Moon Dancer's sharing a little bit. What's your take on Black Friday? What's your take on consumerism? I know a Football Boots review said, brings out the animal in us, basically saying it brings out the human nature in society. What's your guys' feedback on it? Moon Dancer. This year I'm telling them I'm going to donate $100 in their favorite charity, and that's it. Thanks to Inspirational Nomad, I've started saying no. Well, amen. And the other thing I would say no to is charities. I think 90% of charities ripoffs. Okay? In my opinion, I would just bank that money, and if you want to give it away to somebody, or if you want to go into a hospital and just leave $100 on some guy who's sick or something like that, or I would, in my opinion, I recommend doing that, because even charities now have become, to me, consumerism charities. I look at, like, when a hurricane hits, like the Red Cross, they get $1 from everybody in addition to all the government funds they get. And only thing the people get left with is a blanket and a bottle of water. Where do all the millions of dollars go? We saw that in Haiti when they had the earthquake, and people donated from all over the world, donated millions of dollars. And the regular people, it never got to them. They got a blanket and a bottle of dollar water. If you really want to help someone, then just give them the money and realize they may waste that money. But charities, I think, for the most part, and then after you give to the Red Cross, then after all the presidents from the past, like I saw all the presidents, the old Bushes, Clinton, Obama, everybody get together, they held hands and said, like, we are one, give more donations for the hurricane people. Where does all that money go? I don't even agree with that. Say no to charities too, in my opinion. If you want to help somebody, then give it to them directly. That's my opinion. I'm going to get to some more things, and then I'm going to talk about I missed a couple comments, so I want to be respectful. It's Miss Kimberly. It's never gone shopping on Black Friday. I can't stand crowds. Well, I don't like crowds either, and that's what a lot of nomads have in common. They like a lot of solitude. 2 years ago, I bought a TV at Walmart website instead. Now, that's the balance also of Black Friday. Some debate is, well, that's also a great time to get deals, and if you're on a lower economic scale, you can't begrudge Black Friday because it's a lot of times where people can get good deals, so it's a give and take. Dana, I grew up poor. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Being an adult, I am very careful with my money. Thank you, Dana, for sharing that. Yeah, once you have felt the sting of poverty, that'll light a fire under your ass not to go backwards. I grew up in a middle-class family. For the most part, we had different waves. Once my parents got divorced, there were some tough times, as my mom was a single mom for many years. But overall, I would have to classify my childhood as middle class, and I also have to classify it as my mom made sure that I always had everything I wanted. So I'm thankful for that. I've seen poverty, different people I've hung out with, and different things I saw as my sister was addicted to drugs. I spent time in different communities for long periods of time. So what I will say is, also me as a young adult being buried in debt, that feeling the sting of basically every paycheck being gone before you get it is a very hard sting, and you don't want to go back to that place because it does feel like a never-ending cycle. Okay, it's Miss Kimberly. Soup kitchens are a good idea, Moon Dancer. Somewhat. I've spent time and donated time in soup kitchens in Newark, New Jersey, and in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Anybody familiar with those areas? Sometimes they're a good thing, and sometimes they're not. It's a good idea. It's nice to do them. When I was a youth minister, I took a lot of kids to do them. But a lot of times, to be totally honest with you, all you're doing is giving hot chocolate and giving soup to prostitutes and to people that just wait for it. Yes, it helps them, but also a lot of soup kitchens use that to try to convert people to their belief system. Like, I remember going out with a soup kitchen in Newark, New Jersey, and it was a Christian-based soup kitchen, and the area in the projects we were in was mainly Muslim. And they would give people soup and like water and stuff, but they also had a tone of like, we want to spread the gospel while we give you soup. and it's like they ask you if they can pray for you. And I remember being in the middle of the projects in the middle of the night, and we were giving like this young girl soup, and like I didn't feel comfortable asking, like, do you want me to pray for you? I just sat with her and talked to her. And like I remember one of the guys saying, "Oh, do you want us to pray for you?" And she was telling me, because she felt safe with me, like, "Sam, I'm Muslim. I don't feel comfortable praying." I was like, "Well, don't pray." You know what I mean? And it's like, so they're giving you soup, but a lot, not all, a lot of soup kitchens, even they have agendas. So you gotta be careful. Like I remember, like when there was a big debate in our country in America about gay people, like a lot of extreme Christian groups would go like to uh, against gay crowds, like in a group, and they were like, "Oh, well, we love gay people. We gave them free water." Fuck, does it matter if you give them free water if you're against them having civil rights? You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta think for yourself. You gotta think for yourself. Example: Clinton Foundation money was used for their girl's wedding. No, I mean there was different debate, there was different debate. There's no doubt about it. About the Clinton Foundation had some corruption in it. Anytime there's an exchange of money, whether it's the Clintons, whether it's Trump's, I mean, there's some different real estate ventures that Trump has with different political people throughout the world that can also be considered. So it's every group has that. Anytime there's an exchange of money, doesn't matter Republican or Democrat, and anytime you're in the 1%, the Clintons are in the 1% of society, Trump is in the 1% of society. So anytime you're at that elite status and people are exchanging money for favors, I mean, that's the way the world turns. So for us to be disingenuous and bash Trump or bash Clintons for that, I mean, we should call them out, but we have to also understand that the world turns like that. The world turns like, oh, and it, like for us, like if you help a friend move, now they have to help you move. So you didn't exchange a mass amount of money, but you did a favor for a favor. And so the favor for a favor at a regular person standpoint, as far as economic, will be, I'll help you move, you help me move. I went to your baby shower. I bought like your kid the big cradle on your register. Now you have to buy my baby the big cradle on the register. It's the same thing, but on a smaller scale. That's why we have to be honest as a society. Not just put the blame on Black Friday, not just put the blame on the Clintons, not just put the blame on Trump. We have to be honest with all of ourselves, and we have to start with the person in the mirror. Okay? Good comment. Dana, the fire still burns. Keeps me in a check. Yeah. The sting of poverty burns, and it's a very hard cycle to break. Just like we've talked about in other things, food, etc. Any unhealthy cycle, and over consumerism is an unhealthy cycle. So instead of you over consuming food, you're over consuming goods, and that's why, like I started the conversation, I'm not here to bash anybody, because one is I was once in it. And two is everyone has been through that, or everybody can relate to that, okay? So even if you don't struggle with buying things, you may be very good in your minimalism, you may struggle with eating. And maybe you don't struggle with eating, you don't struggle with buying things, but you struggle with relationships. So the key to a healthy society is being fair to one another and to having empathy. Realizing that I may not struggle where you struggle, but we all have struggles. Then you have to say, okay, I have empathy, but I'm not going to let the tail wag the dog. Let's talk about this thing. Let's try to get better. And let me start with the person in the mirror. That's it. I'm not going to blame the news media when I see Black Friday. I'm not going to blame Walmart. I'm not going to blame Walmart for staying open for 24 hours on Black Friday. I'm going to start with the clothes that I don't have in my closet, and I'm going to throw them out. I'm going to start tonight on Sunday night dinner. I'm not going to throw out 90% of the food I wasted, and I'm not going to overeat. I'm going to do what I need and try to be efficient. Start with the self. How do you change the world? You start with yourself. If you try to start with Trump, if you try to start with the Clintons, if you try to start with Walmart, you will not make progress. My goal is that I make progress and that you make progress and that you become your best self and that I become my best self. And to do that, we have to be honest with thyself. And that's part of wisdom. That's part of a healthy mind, a healthy soul, and a healthy society. Amen. Amen. Praise the Lord. All right, it's 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to give a temperature check as I sit here living in my car. And it's 48 degrees. It's actually warm here for November 12th, 2017. I am a work in progress. Amen, amen, Dana. We all are. So no guilt and no shame here. I mean, there's none of that going on. That's right. Remember to breathe too, okay? That's healthy. It's very healthy. And when you live in your car, make sure you keep your windows cracked, all right? You need that fresh air intake. If you live in your house or apartment, even when it's cold, you have to make sure that your windows are cracked. You need fresh air, okay? It's part of a healthy mind. 82 in Houston. It's Miss Kimberly. You're basically, well, I'm not going to say you're in a bikini because I don't want to be disrespectful, but 82, I could be in a bikini. I'm not mad at 82. But I guess the only part with that is it is good to have a change of temperature, but a month from now when it's snowing in New Jersey, I'm going to be praying that it's 82, or maybe praying it's 77 in Florida, and I'll be down in Florida in about a month. Daily Dose of Nirvana. What's up, brother? Love your passion. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Benny, here you go, brother. It's stupid how healthy food is more expensive than junk food. Now, that's true to an extent, Benny, but what I want to share with you, one time I was 350 pounds, and I spent more money on junk food than I did on health food when I lost 200 pounds. So, again, if we're being fair, and we're not just blaming society for Black Friday, or we're not just blaming society for having a McDonald's on every street corner, I spent more money on eating out, and eating out is the first step to an unhealthy life, than I would if I would have bought a couple heads of lettuce and fruits and vegetables and tofu and made my own salads every day. If you buy a couple heads of lettuce, a head of lettuce is like $2, and you buy fruits and vegetables and tofu, I mean, you would have enough food and a loaf of whole grain bread, you would have enough food for all week. But the problem is we overeat, we overconsume, and we eat out. And so we have to take personal accountability, and we can't just blame cost, because it's cheaper to eat healthy. That's what I found out. I lost 200 pounds, and I didn't do it on Oprah's diet either. I didn't do it on Weight Watchers. Did you see my video that Oprah's a crook and Weight Watchers is a scam? Oh yeah, Oprah's overweight and she bought a publicly traded company. Let me tell you something. If you want to lose weight, don't go on Weight Watchers. Stop eating out, and you'll save money. You'll save money and you'll lose weight. Okay? And I love Oprah, but I'm gonna come after Oprah just like I come after Trump. She's a crook for doing Weight Watchers. Okay? Kimberly, give me a lot of laugh out loud emojis. Oh yeah, that's right. And Connecticut, Guloso, I haven't seen you in a while. Love and respect to Connecticut. Connecticut, love and respect, hand emojis to you. Benny, very true what you say. I take it back. No, you don't have to take anything back. We're just sharing. We're sharing, brother. You're safe here. This is a healthy environment for conversation. There's respect to you, Benny, and there's respect to everyone here, okay? So thank you for sharing. And without your comment, we don't have that interaction. So I thank God for everyone who leaves a good comment, because even if it's debatable, that's what allows us to have dialogue. So great comment, Benny. Great comment. Okay. Shay, I'd like to know why everyone in the U.S. shops at Walmart. I'll answer that in a second. Well, at least in my opinion, this is an open chat room for everybody else. No wonder there is the second richest woman in the world. The heir of Walmart is the second richest woman in the world. Yeah, everyone shops at Walmart because in a corporate-run society, what happens is mergers and acquisitions, and the small mom and pop stores do not have the buying power to buy items in bulk and then sell them at a cheaper price. Walmart is the mass store that most Americans buy goods from because they have buying power, meaning they can buy in bulk because they have so many stores and they have so much money that they can buy in bulk and then sell at a cheaper price, and they could pressure their distributors. So that's the reason most people do, because they can't beat the price. I mean, if I can buy a $10 earbuds at Walmart, why would I go to a store where it's $20? And the only reason Walmart can sell them for $10 is because they have the buying power to bring that price point down. So it's like, that's the tough balance of society. There would have to be some type of government regulation. That'd be the only way to get that. And that affects a lot of things. And, that's always the debate in America, is, you want free capitalism, but then you also need a level of regulation, or else capitalism gets too greedy, and that goes back and forth. And that goes back and forth. And society always struggles with balance, just like humans do. Humans, we struggle with balance. We get overweight. Why? Because we struggle with balance. We overeat. We get in debt. Why? Because we struggle with balance. We overconsume. Back to the point that it's Miss Kimberly made with a great topic today. Black Friday, consumerism. What is consumerism? Over purchasing. Okay? Out of balance. No Man's Land, it's true green leaf and green leaf and tuna, it's cheap and healthy. Yes, tuna and green leaf or green tea is very healthy for you. Now, I am majority vegetarian, but I'm also what they call pescatarian. What's a pescatarian? It's a vegetarian plant-based diet with occasional fish. I'll occasionally have salmon and tuna, but overall my diet's plant-based. I've shared it before. Forks Over Knives is a movie that you can find on Netflix. Well, I don't have Netflix anymore. I don't know if it's still on, but you can find it on YouTube called Forks Over Knives. Powerful movie. No Man's Land. YouTube, cheap, healthy food online, and they help you with foes to consume on a budget. Yeah, there's a lot of research. And like I say, I am going to respect Benny. Benny wanted a live stream based on that topic, and we are going to do one. I think it's a good suggestion. I mean, if we're going to do one every day, we got enough room for everybody's suggestion. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to dedicate one live stream to just about food. I'll share with you my daily habits, what I did to, lose 200 pounds, basic stuff. I'm not giving rocket science. And then I'm also going to also show compassion, because everyone's different. What's easy for me may not be easy for somebody else. It wasn't easy for me, but I have compassion that it's not just, you can give a template to someone and some people will be able to follow it and some people won't. Are you responsible for all the burdens of the world? No. You are responsible for looking in the mirror each day and becoming a better you. Then letting your light shine on to men and women. And then let the chips fall where they may. What you're responsible for changed my life when I got this. You're responsible for planting the seed. You're not responsible for the harvest. You're responsible for working on yourself and planting the seed. The rest is in God's hands, or whatever you want to believe. If you want to believe in nothing, that's fine too. I respect it. I mean, I'm just sharing my belief. I believe in God. I believe the farmer's job is to plant the seed, to plant God's word, and plant your life as a living testimony. And then the harvest will come forth accordingly, in my opinion. Okay? We got some good comments here coming in hot. And I get also some notifications on my phone. Who's this? Oh, Sarah Message. She left me a message. I'll have to look at that later on my YouTube video. I'm going to she's in the live stream. Hey, Sarah, if you're out there, you know I love you. Let's see here. No Man's Land. I like No Man's Land. Oh, hands up emoji. Thanks for the inspiration. Thank you, No Man's Land. We got like almost the same name. So we're like YouTube brothers or sisters. I'm not sure if you're a man or woman, but it's love and respect because I treat everybody the same. I try to. No Man's Land, you're a big inspiration in my nomad journey. Thank you. I love being a nomad. What does a nomad mean? A nomad means someone who has no permanent address that does not stay in one spot long. They travel from place to place. You define being a nomad for yourself. Does being a nomad mean you're going to sell everything and live out of a van or car and travel just within that state because you have a full-time job? Or does it mean you're going to travel all around the country and do some type of remote job? You define that. You define that, okay? And that's what I like. CR also gives good comments. Thank you for creating a safe space, Sam. Yes. The number one job you have, and I take this very serious. I joke around. I have fun. I have passion. But the number one job, I take this serious too at my own personal job, my personal corporate job. The number one job you have as a leader, a parent, anyone in society, is to create a healthy and safe environment for dialogue. Now, there will be disrespect even when you try to be totally fair. And then, you have to sometimes throw out a mocker and you have to have boundaries. But a healthy environment is a safe environment. A safe environment is a healthy environment. And that means you have to be fair. You have to allow diverse perspectives, different ones. And you have to treat each other with respect. And then, to be totally honest, because I don't want to pander, sometimes there's still not agreement. But you can't control everything. All you can control is I'm going to lead by example, try to be respectful. And sometimes people don't like me and I got to cut them off because, how much can I take? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be unfair to myself. I'll be fair to you, but then if you start to be unfair to where I'm at, I love you, but I got to have boundaries. But thank you, CR. Well noted, and I appreciate that. Okay? Benny, what's your opinion on marijuana? Smoking it, eating? Good question, Benny. And all right, so I'm going to read his out loud because I think this is a good question. It's an interesting one we don't get often. Benny says, and I'm calling you Benny. I know you have a longer tag name, but you get the point. And people who read his comment, they know it's Benny. Benny says, what's your opinion on marijuana, smoking it, eating it, or whatever it is, seeing as you are from the U.S. where it's becoming increasingly legal? Yes. So America are a bunch of individual states with individual laws that are governed by a federal government. We're a United States. Each state within America is kind of like their own country, with the understanding the federal government unites them. Why? Because a united country is more powerful. A house divided amongst itself cannot stand. Okay, the only reason we're so powerful, just like Walmart. Why is Walmart powerful? Because they have bulk buying power. If Walmart was chopped up into mom and pop stores, they wouldn't have bulk buying power. So there's benefits in being part of a community, and there's some downside that, this state may want to do this and this state may want to do that. So there are individual state laws. So individual state laws can legalize marijuana, but I want to be very clear. In many areas, the federal government laws can still override that, and it can still be illegal. So it's not just if a state makes it legal. If the federal government wants to enforce the federal laws that oversee states, then there could be some issue there. That being said, you have to understand that. Now, my personal opinion and my personal experience with marijuana. One is, when I was young, let's say from the ages of 13 to 25, I smoked marijuana. That's the strongest drug I did, that and drinking alcohol. I smoked marijuana. What was its effects? A numbing of the mind, a silliness, and it made me dumber, in my opinion. I wasn't sharp. Like, I do a live stream right now, I'll be, you know what I mean? And I watch Friday, the movie Friday. I watched that for like a million times. I don't see long-term benefit in marijuana. Definitely not as a recreational drug. If you wanted to prescribe it, then maybe you had cancer or something. I'm not against that. But as a recreational drug, I think it makes you dumber. And I don't mean dumber in a disrespect, but I want to use plain language. It makes you dumber. It makes you less sharp. And it will not, in my opinion, my personal experience using it, it will not add value to your life. It will take away from your life. Okay? You won't be sharp and on your game. You'll be dull. And you're going to eat unhealthy food. You're going to do et cetera, et cetera. And it is addictive. It is addictive. In my experience, when I stopped smoking marijuana, and then like I was in a cipher, what they call a cipher, when a bunch of people smoke weed together and they pass the joint or pass the blunt around, like the first couple of weeks when I stopped smoking, like the blunt would get passed around and I'd be like shaking. I want that blunt. Just like, you stop eating unhealthy food and you see a bag of spicy nachos next to you. Like, I couldn't even be around that. When I stopped eating unhealthy food and I went to my mom's house and she was making a bunch of fried chicken, I almost went crazy. I couldn't be around that. Marijuana is addictive, it's unhealthy, and I don't recommend it. There's a specific reason for it, such as like helping with cancer, maybe, but I don't think it's wisdom to legalize marijuana, and I don't endorse it. I don't, just like with materialism, I'm not going to be an extreme person. That is not fair. You have to experience that for yourself in life, and I'm not going to bash people that are experimenting with it. But my opinion is it's not helpful. I've seen a lot of people destroy their lives with marijuana. Not to the fact like they end up like on a corner like stealing from their mother, but just that they didn't live up to their potential. And marijuana was another reason why they never lived up to their potential. Because I guarantee you, in my experience, if you smoke marijuana, you're going to have unhealthy friends, unhealthy relationships. You're also going to associate with people that don't live up to their potential. So what happens when you hang out with a bunch of people that don't live up to their potential? You end up quitting your job, watching Friday for a million times, sitting in somebody else's basement, smoking weed, eating spicy nachos, instead of, working, advancing, growing, and becoming the best you, in my opinion. That's my opinion on it. Good question. Good question, Benny. Good question. Dana, I'm going to backtrack on some of these comments. I plant a seed every morning by saying out loud, when I wake up, I will be happy. Yes. Confessing, defining your life. Agree with that. I will be positive. Agree with that. I will smile and be grateful. Yes. A gratitude, an attitude of gratitude is a blessing. Okay? You will never meet a happy, unthankful person. Never. I mean, I made a video this morning. It was like a 3-minute video, and I was just saying like I was thankful. I can't believe somebody gave that a thumbs down. You gotta be an asshole to give that one a thumbs down. But I mean, I respect it, but it's like, how can you be mad at somebody to be thankful? You know who's mad at you for being thankful? Someone who's unthankful. You can't make the unthankful happy. Oh, fuck them. All right, excuse my language, but come on. Shay. Nomad is a Greek word. Okay, break it down for us, Shay. Nomad is a Greek word meaning someone who roams looking for pasture for livestock. Yes, that's the old definition of it. I agree with that. It has been defined. You are right. Do you have cattle, Sam? No, but just like every definition, that becomes refined over time through evolution. So that was the original nomad. The original nomad was someone who went from place to place to gather livestock. Livestock was the way you made an income. That's what livestock was, a job. So back in the day, in the Old Testament days, if you were a nomad, you weren't a campground host. You were a guy who rounded up cattle, and you know what I mean? That's how you made money. So you have to evolve your mind, and you have to evolve that definition. That's why like some people like who interpret the Old Testament and old writings so rigidly, like it has a totally different meaning in today's society. So that evolved mind and how you apply it to the current society is someone who goes from place to place, whether it's for their own personal enjoyment or whether they're a campground host. That's a nomad. Okay. Good point though, Shay. And why that's a good point is because it brings perspective and it sheds light on how society evolves and how some people don't. Like some people in the spiritual realm, they bring up like Old Testament stuff and then they don't bring up New Testament stuff, and then, you know what I mean, they're out of balance. Okay. Oh, Mano. Oh, hi, Sam. Hi, Mano. You leave a lot of comments, and I appreciate you. I respect you. You have a tender heart, and I like your positivity. Okay, so respect to you, Mano, and thank you for checking in on a live chat. I think this is your first live chat, but you've left a lot of comments, so respect and love to you. All right? No Man's Land. Yes, he has cattle. We're his inspirational cattle. Thank you, No Man's Land, and I want to say that you are your own leader. I don't want to be a Jim Jones. Who is Jim Jones? He is a guy that started a church in the 70s and seduced everyone into believing in him and not thinking for themselves. And they ended up in South America, and he basically had this whole tribe commit mass suicide. I do not want to control your thinking. What I hope to do is inspire you to be your best self. But I don't believe in a tribe follower mindset. I believe in being yourself. I had a big problem. I saw Bob Wells' new video. Come join the tribe. That gets me upset. I want you to think for yourself. I want you to be you. I don't want, I am blessed and I'm thankful for a comment like that. But I'm very careful that if I'm doing my job is to get you to use critical thinking and to spark the flame inside yourself. Not to have you blindly follow me. I don't want that. I want you to be you, and I don't want you to be controlled by anyone. That's my goal. And that's how I want to live, and that's how I hope encourage others to live. Thank you, No Man's Land. Thank you, though. Shay, Diary of Beef. I hear that. Molino Bump. All right, I hear that. And is that a kitty? Is that your cat's on your profile picture, Mino? It's Miss Kimberly. She's still in the building. We love Miss Kimberly. She gave 3 laugh out loud emojis, and she gave true. And Miss Kimberly slept with a scarf on last night, okay? So if you thought Miss Kimberly messed her hair up, wrong, okay? She had a scarf on last night, and that hair is still on point, all right? She's going to get at least another 5 days out of that new hairdo if that profile picture's up to date. Because truth be told, I've dated a couple chicks, and they got pictures, and I don't mean to call chicks, but they had pictures on, like, library save, like on a hard drive. And they upload a picture, and I thought like that picture is recent, and that was from like 5 months ago. But they got a couple of hot pictures of themselves, like in a library, just in case they need to make people remember that I'm still hot. Okay, I understand the game. Moon Dancer, Dana Hana, I'm going to tell myself I'm clean and freak every morning, and my mantra will be I love to clean stuff. See if it works. Right, it's not easy. I don't want to clean. Did you guys see my video? I don't want to clean. That's why too I live out of my car. I don't want to clean shit. All right. I don't like to clean. Okay, watch that video if you want. But it was funny. I thought it was good. It's Miss Kimberly. She got a loud laugh out emoji, and then she got some alien emojis. You better look out. I hear that, Miss Kimberly. Jesse's in the building. What's up, brother? I'm preparing my windows right now to take a plunge tonight. Okay, oh, you're going to take the plunge tonight? Can't lie. I'm very scared about right now. Well, hold on. I want to slow down. Okay, so, Jesse, if this is your first night, 1 is, I want to say congratulations. 2 is, I want to say, like you've heard me say many times, it is scary the first night, and I want to be totally honest with you, Jesse. It's going to be scary the first month. It will get better, brother, over time. And I just want you to know that you can do it. I want everyone to know out there, if you want to live an alternate lifestyle, whether it's living out of a van, car, RV, or even a smaller house, you can do it. You can throw your stuff out. You can live mobile. Is it scary? Yes. Will it be scary for the first few weeks and even few months? Yes. It took me 8 months to fully get my feet. It took me 8 months to settle in. But what I also shared this morning in my morning reflection is that the only way to learn is to do. The only way, Jesse, and the only way everyone, myself included, the only way we learn is when we do it. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to screw up. And you got to go through that refining process to get to the place where you want to be. So that's why the first thing I said was congratulations. Because even if tonight is scary and even if the next month is scary, the only way you're going to get confident and the only way you're going to grow to your destiny and do what you want to do, if it's to live out of a car van and live simply so you can do other creative things, is that you have to go through this process. It will be scary, but you have support, you have love, and you have my confidence that you can figure it out. And thank you for sharing, Jesse. I'll be thinking about you tonight, brother. Dana, Moon Dancer, go for it. I hope it works. Okay. Daily Dose of Nirvana. You go, Jesse. You can do it. That's right. Daily Dose of Nirvana. See, that's what I mean. I mean, that's why I really love YouTube, and that's no bullshit. It's like, you got 10% bad people, but 90%, like an encouraging community, like Daily Dose of Nirvana is encouraging Jesse. You know what I mean? It's Miss Kimberly brought up a great topic tonight. Benny had some great comments talking about different issues, including marijuana. A healthy community, not a tribe, because I want you to think for yourself, but a healthy community that can encourage and keep you sharp is a blessing. Okay? A blessing. And I like that. Moon Dancer. Way to go, I believe. Yeah, way to go, Jesse. Yes, you got Moon Dancer's love and respect too, and support. I'm all jelly. You are making a memory. So Moon Dancer's giving you a lot of love, and she's saying that it's not easy for her. But see, I also respect Moon Dancer and people like that I've met along my journey, that they kind of know that maybe they'll never do this lifestyle fully, but they still support. Like, why would Moon Dancer or anybody else that maybe they're never going to live out in their car, why would they still take the time to write a comment to support you on your lifestyle? It's just like, that's love. Like, she don't have to do that, and nobody else has to do it. Daily Dose of Nirvana didn't have to take the time. He could have just did whatever. He could have been looking at porn on the side. And like, what the hell is Jesse talking about? They didn't call out my name. But they show love and respect, and I appreciate that, man. I do. I think that's awesome. Mano, man, you have a good memory, bro. Mano, come on, man. Of course, man. I see you checking in. I see you, Mano. Moon Dancer. Moo, yeah. I'm old enough to remember Jones. Yeah. No, and you have to remember. Just like, they say like a 9/11, always remember, never forget. Always remember Jim Jones. What we learned from that, and there's been other examples, but Jim Jones was probably the most extreme, okay? Where you have a pastor, you have a spiritual leader, whether it's Jim Jones or whether it's Bob Wells, I don't care. That tribe thinking mentality and that lack of critical self-thinking will lead you astray. And you will end up somewhere in a desert or in a foreign land brainwashed or unfulfilled. Because you won't get fulfilled when you think like Sammy, or you think like Inspirational Nomad, or you think like Bob Wells, or you think like... You will get fulfilled when you start to think for yourself. And you have an open mind to allow others to add value and to sharpen your thinking. But being yourself is the true blessing. And God's inside you. And that's why being yourself is a blessing. Because when you accept yourself and when you grow and refine yourself, you're growing the God inside you, in my opinion. I mean, and without being led astray by some guy who's got a collection plate in one hand and, drinking a Kool-Aid in the other and doing a van bill with the other. God bless. Come on. All right. Daily Dose of Nirvana. Drank the Kool-Aid, was terrible. Yeah. See, Daily Dose of Nirvana too. I mean, I've been through that too. I mean, I never fully drank the Kool-Aid, but I sipped on it a little bit with a couple people in my journey, whether it's spiritual people or even, like I said in the past, women putting somebody on a pedestal. When you drink the Kool-Aid, and what does that mean? That means when you fully subscribe to someone's thinking. Not when you subscribe to their channel, but when you fully subscribe to their thinking without thinking for yourself, that is when you drink the Kool-Aid. And that is when you will wake up one day in a foreign land and you have lost yourself. I don't want you to lose yourself. I want you to find yourself. Even if you never watch another one of my videos, right? I want you to go and find yourself and then become your best self. That's my goal. Okay. Jesse, laugh out loud. Dance Moon Dancer. Yeah, you got love out there. Mano, marijuana is normal for people to smoke, but I don't really like, but I like to smell. No, I hear you, man. I mean, there's different perspectives. I'm not mad if you have a different one. And I used to like the marijuana smell too. I mean, I still pass by people once in a while. I mean, they're on the street smoking it, so I understand. I do. No Man's Land. No way you won't control my mind, brother, but we are all on a wonderful journey of growth. That's right, brother. We are all inspirational to each other. That's right. I agree with that. And you guys are helping me. I'm telling you, I tell you guys that all the time. I made that video this morning. That I'm thankful for you guys. I can't believe somebody give that thumbs down. And what an asshole. I truly believe this. Don't be afraid, Jesse. Yes, you got respect and support from No Man's Land too. Don't be afraid of Jesse. Like all things, you'll figure it out. That's right. That's right. Good point, No Man's Land. I'm still figuring it out. That's right. We all are. We're all a constant work in progress. But it's worth it. Yes, it is worth it to grow. Okay? That's a great point. You're going to ask yourself, whether it's on your health journey, whether it's on your downsizing journey, you're going to ask yourself, is it worth it? The answer, yes. Yes, it's worth it. Period. Because what's not worth it is staying the same in misery. Okay? It's not worth it to eat buffalo wings every Sunday and then struggle to tie your shoes. That's what I did. Okay? It's not worth it to stay in a house that's inefficient, that brings you more anxiety, and you feel like it's a prison rather than a resource. Okay? It's worth it. It's worth it to change. Never forget that. Great comment. Okay? Breathe. All right. CR, Jesse, you got this. More love. I respect that from the community. All right. Jesse, daily dose. If Nirvana, thanks. Yep. Okay. Jesse, CR, thanks. Yep, you got that love out there. I'll definitely let you know how it's going in another one of these live streams. With respect to that, Mano, marijuana is good as long as you don't get addicted to it. Yeah, Mano, I would just respectfully disagree. It's like that's like saying potato chips are good just as long as you don't get addicted to them. In my opinion, you're dealing with a highly addictive that's like saying cigarettes are good as long as you don't get addicted to them. One is it's not good for you because any smoke causes smoke inhalation. Even if it doesn't have different properties of tobacco, when you breathe in smoke, whether it's from a fire, whether it's from a cigarette, or whether it's from a blunt or a joint, smoke is not good for your lungs. No smoke, okay? That's science. No smoke is good for your lungs. Some smoke may be less harmful than others, but I want to be very clear. No smoke is good for your health. So if you digest it maybe in a brownie, you could say that, but a brownie is sugar, and that's not good for your health. You know, marijuana is not good for your mind, in my opinion. But I respect Mano if you have a different opinion. But I have to share my opinion. Okay. But I respect you, Mano. Okay. No man's land. Keep your eyes on the prize. That's right. You gotta stay on your focus. I think let me slow down. I think if it is as what it was, we are dirt poor and there's no way out. Always remember to a third world country, even if it's in your car, it's a palace to some unfortunate. That's right. No man's land is basically saying that some people look at you like when you live out of a car or van like you're dirt poor. But for some people living in a third world country, like they would love to have wheels. Some third world countries walk miles just for drinkable water. Okay? So you're 100% right. I mean, and like I told you, if you live out of a car, you're going to be wealthier than most Americans or whatever society you live in. In America, 80% of society lives paycheck to paycheck. And that's back to the topic of tonight, Black Friday, suggested by Ismiss Kimberly, a consumerism society. In a consumerism society, 80% of society lives above their means. They live paycheck to paycheck. So you're going to live a better quality life. You're going to be wealthier than 80% of society because you're not going to have 80% of their bills. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's wisdom. And financially and every other way. Okay? CR. It's nice to have a safe, supportive space. That's right, like this. Oh, yeah, it is. And it gives you confidence, yes. And we talked about last night, that's right. A safe, healthy environment gives you confidence. Why is confidence important? Because confidence helps you to heal. And when you heal, then you can grow. Growing pains. Why didn't I tell some people initially that I lived in my car? Because I didn't want to be hurt anymore. I was hurt and scared when I first started living out of my car. And I started to tell my father, and he got judgmental, so I didn't tell him. And then when he found out 6 months later and he got upset, I said, too bad. You know, you can't get upset. I didn't need somebody to make me feel more hurt. I needed people to help me feel more safe so I can grow. Okay? Mano, you 100% right. Thank you, Mano. Love and respect to you. And I love the kitties on the profile, please. Thank you, Mano. Love and respect. Love and respect. Jesse, I look at these channels a lot while debating this plunge. Yeah, I did too. I did the same thing that you did. I looked at all the different channels. But this channel is the first one. Thank you. I've seen to do a live stream, which is cool to me. Thank you. The live stream, I just started last week. Today is actually officially 1 week doing a consistent daily live stream. And if I'm being honest, they've really blessed me. I'm thankful that they've also blessed you. But I love doing videos for a couple reasons. One is because I am a creative person. Two is I do like to share. And I do like a connection, but I'm also a guy of solitude. So this allows me to have a connection without having a full commitment of a full relationship. Like I always say, you guys can leave to chat or you cannot look at my video at any time, and I can end the video at any time. So it gives me and it gives you freedom, but it also gives us a connection. And that's the cool thing for me about YouTube and about technology, for my personality. And the live interaction that we're doing right now that we just did for a while, there's nothing, I mean, the videos that I do on certain topics that I'm inspired about that I want to share with you, I like those too. With this, there's something magical because we're all adding. It's not just me, it's all of us. And it's special, and I'm very thankful for it. Benny's, excuse me. Benny, same here, Jesse. I'm considering it the start of next year. Okay, good. I agree, Sam. It's different, and he inspires me. Thank you, Jesse, and thank you, Benny, for both blessing me and encouraging me. Thank you. I'm curious, Jesse and Benny, if you want to share. You don't have to. You're safe to do either one. Jesse, what car are you living out of? What type of car? Like I know we had just before Don, he lives out of a Toyota Sienna. I live out of a Jeep Renegade. So what car are you living out of again, Jesse? If you want to share, you don't have to. And Benny, what car are you thinking of living out of? Jesse, okay. Jesse responded, 2008 Jeep Liberty. And I think I apologize because I think you may have shared that before. I'm sorry, I forgot. So we're in that Jeep family, number one. And a 2006 Jeep Liberty, yeah, I think you can definitely do it. Now, do you have the seats folded down, and is that what you're doing as your bed, or do you have a different type of setup, Jesse? And Benny, what car, if you do it, I'm not locking you in, but if you do decide to do it, Benny, what are you envisioning the type of car that you would live out of? CR, I have looked at 1,000 hours of videos about this type of lifestyle, and this is the most real. Well, thank you. I do strive to be genuine. I'm not perfect. I want to be clear, but I thank you for that. I do try to do that. Jesse, seats folded down with covers and a sleeping bag. Okay. Yeah, that's the way to go. Once you fold your seats down and you put your head towards the back and your feet facing the front of the vehicle, that's key. Now, just remember to re-engineer your space. You could pull your passenger seat all the way up, and even if you have to, now I never wanted to take my passenger seat out, but that's an option. That if you take your passenger seat out and there's only like a few bolts that hold it down to the floor, and you may need a mechanic to do it, but I don't think they would charge you more than $100. If you really wanted more leg room, you don't have to buy a van. You could just remove the passenger seat. But, either way, yeah, the seats down will get you right. It'll just take a while. It'll just take a while to get comfortable and to find safe places to park and to get used to what places are what. You understand what I'm saying? And but you'll figure it out. I'm sure you will. Mano, what is something you will... what is something that will you do ever again? What is something you will do over again better? Okay, good question, Mano. He's basically asking me, what is something that I would do over in my life but do it again better? I would say I would have been more patient, like I said, with my dog at the end of her life, and the reason I wasn't more impatient because I didn't take enough time. I was trying to do too many things at once, and at the end of the day, I was stressed out from work. I had too big a house. I had too many responsibilities. I was taking too much risk with my money, and it made me less patient with my dog than I wanted to be at the end of her life. So I feel like I failed there. So what I've learned from that is that I try not to take too much on. I've learned to say no. I've learned to take self-care. Oh, Sarah, I'm going to get you. I've learned to do self-care. So if I had to do one thing better, I would realize that I can only take on so much, especially when I'm in charge of taking care of somebody else, whether it's a dog, whether I'm in charge of overseeing a project at work. I have to always remember priorities, and I have to be mindful to be patient. And, I think that's kind of explains my heart on that subject. Good question. Benny, any station wagon. Okay, so Benny's saying if he does do any station wagon, it will be kitted out with actual bed frame, etc. Okay, we'll build. Okay, so Benny, definitely in a station wagon you can do it. You just have to be mindful in a station wagon. You're not going to get great fuel economy, so you may want to. But it doesn't matter when you live in that basic. I mean, even if you spend a lot in fuel, it's not a problem. Fuel and food will be your two biggest non-recurring expenses. Okay, Sarah, I had to hold up because I had to be respectful of everybody. Sarah's in the building. Love and respect to Sam, but Sarah, love and respect to you. One of my first viewers. I will say it again. She's a beautiful girl from California, but like I say, you can't get with her because she's too picky. I love Sarah, and I always think about Sarah, and I'm very thankful for Sarah, for Moon Dancer, a lot of my original viewers. That Sarah sent me the other night, and it really spoke to me. We're friends on Instagram. A private message. It was just like an inspirational. It was just an inspirational quote, but it spoke. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I got kicked off. Like I was saying, Sarah sent me a private message. It was just an inspirational quote on Instagram, but it spoke to me that night because I was feeling a little bit bad about myself, if I'm being honest with you, just from self-criticism. Because sometimes, especially when you put yourself out there, you evaluate yourself, say, I could have did this better. And I'm thankful that she sent me that. You need a support system, okay? As confident as I am, I still need encouragement. And I'm thankful for Sarah and everyone else, to be fair to everyone else who has given it to me, because, you know, I'm just thankful. And I want to say that. That means a lot to me, especially, like I said, too, being a single person and not having a family, you definitely need a support system. You know, we as nomads, or we as people who like solitude more, we may not need as much as a support system as some, but you still need that once in a while occasional message. You still need that once in a while occasional quote. You still need that once in a while occasional encouraging emoji. You need that. And for me to not say that I need that is disingenuous. I mean, I'm still going to go forward, but I'm not going to go forward as happy. And so special people like Sarah, like it's Miss Kimberly, like Moondance, like everybody else, I don't want to miss anybody, Tammy, etc. Without those special moments of those messages, etc., you know, they make life special. Because, again, you know, if you don't have any connections, if you fully disconnect from everyone, life won't be worth living. You know, I have to be honest, that even though I want to be single the rest of my life, I also want to have some connection with people on some level that I can handle. Because what makes life special is connection. I mean, if I'm being honest, not just living cheap. Special connections are part of what makes a good quality life, not just living cheap. I want to be very clear on that. Okay? I'm going to go back to some of these comments. Okay? Mano, I'm in a Holiday Rambler. I'm not familiar with that. It's a 2007 22 foot long. So that must be a travel trailer or some type of RV. Okay. Respect to that, Mano. Tammy from Florida. This is a very inspiring channel. Thank you, Tammy. And you know I love Florida. I have no plans of living in my vehicle. I respect that. But I enjoy hearing Sam's perspective. Thank you. I appreciate that. And he has some awesome subscribers. Yes. You know what I mean? If it was just me barking, you would get tired of me. And I'm sure you get tired of me somewhat. And that's okay. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, we all get tired of each other. But the ability to turn off and turn on at any time is a blessing to us. YouTube is a blessing. And what makes it special is that these live feeds are not just me. If it was just me with no comments, it wouldn't be special. I mean, I'm honest in my own evaluation. You know, how much can you hear me talk? I mean, the interaction is part of what makes it magical. Okay? Jesse, do you crawl through the middle to get to the back, or do you just go there? That's a good question. I crawl through the middle. Okay? So I put up my window covers in a different location, and I'm going to park for the night at a different location. Before I get to the location I sleep, I pull over somewhere and I put my back window covers on. So that way when I get to the location, I don't have to get out of my car. I made a video about that. I think if you're going to live out of a car, whatever place you're going to park for that night, you need to set your car up so that when you go to the place you're going to park for the night, you don't get out of your vehicle again unless you have to. Because that looks odd when you get out of your vehicle, you're setting stuff up, and then you go back in, you never come out. So you want to be, even, you know, you want to be legally parked, so you're not doing anything wrong, but you want to still remain stealth. You know, there's wisdom in that. You want to be stealth, and you don't want to have too many predictable patterns, and you want to, movement is your friend. Movement is your friend, okay? And I crawl through. I don't get out. Oh, it's Miss Kimberly came in hot for showing Sarah some love. It's Miss Kimberly knows how to work the emoji. She's got triple laughs to the side face, and she's got a hand wave to Sarah. She's showing love. And Sarah says back, love to you all. Okay, there's a lot of love getting spread, and I'm not mad at that. We got 2 more minutes because I'm going to structure this thing right. No Man's Land, still trying to figure this out, Moon Dancer. Yeah, that's right. It takes time. It's Miss Kimberly. What's your Instagram? She asked me what's my Instagram. I'll share it because it's public. Okay. My Instagram is inspire, the word inspire, _ it's the symbol _ 38, the number 38. So inspire _ the number 38. Okay. It's a public profile. And I just share positivity stuff on there as well. Oh! JPM Lawn Care, you're in the building with less than 2 minutes to go. JPM Lawn Care is in the building from South Carolina, and she's saying, hey, yeah. And I'm saying hello back, and I missed you. And I'm going to do a video tomorrow because I bought a charger for my cell phone, $5. Actually, it's $4.88 minus tax from Walmart, which I'm going to do a video on tomorrow to charge my cell phone when my battery, when my car battery's not on. It's like one of those little batteries. They did have a $10 one, but I ended up going with the $5 one. But I'm gonna share that. I'm gonna share a video on that tomorrow. Good suggestion. JPM Lawn Care says she bought a $20 one of those from Walmart. If I lost you and you don't know what I'm saying, I'm gonna make a video about that tomorrow. I think it's very important for a nomad. Your most important resource is your phone. The most important part about having a phone is keeping it charged. Okay? So I'm gonna share with you tomorrow a resource that you need to pick up, and it's worth it for $5. Okay? No Man's Land. I don't have a page. That's okay. You know what I mean? I share a lot of things similar to what I'm sharing on here. It's just I just try to inspire myself first, and then anyone else that can get blessed with it. Dana, we got 1 minute left, so people are chiming in at the end. Good night, Sam. Good night to you as well, Dana. I hope you can catch up with you on Monday. And no worries if you can. If you can catch up with us on Monday, great. Like I say, I'm going to make it a goal to do these daily streams Sunday through Tuesday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. and Wednesday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. If you can join it, great. I love and I get blessed having you. If you can't, you have freedom. And these do get saved, and you can watch them back, and you can scroll through different parts if you want. Jesse, I respect the people who do this and share their journey because it's not everyone can document. Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you for that appreciation. And document. See, that's the right word, Jesse, too. That's what a friend of mine said when I first started. When I said, man, is it really worth it to share my life? And he goes, Sam, the documentation of your life is important for all people, but especially if you feel like you have something to share. Documenting your life, and that's the right word. The documentation of your life is very important. It's Miss Kimberly is showing love to JPM. She's giving you the hand up emojis. Respect that. I agree with Jesse. It's Miss Kimberly agrees with you, Jesse. CR, yeah, man. Yeah, no man is an island. You're right, CR. No man's land. I crawl through the middle by myself, so no man's land does the same thing as me. Sarah, do you have a fan or some sort of white noise to block out surrounding noise? Good question. I have a fan, but like the past week, I have not been running my fan because it's been below 30 degrees at night. I do keep my windows cracked at night for free airflow, but I usually park in a somewhat quiet spot. When I'm not in a quiet spot, such as a rest stop, I actually try to park near big rigs because I feel safer. And I don't do many like remote. You know, Sarah, you're different. You're out there where there's BLM, basically government land in the middle of nowhere. I live in a populated area, so if I'm either one parking by a big rig, or two is I don't put on a fan just for white noise. I'll either only put on the fan for air circulation if it's hot, but outside of that, I don't put on one. Okay, JPM Lawn Care. I'm late. That's okay, JPM. I appreciate any time you come in. And I'm just going to wrap it up. So I'm 1 minute over, but I want to get through a few more comments, and then I'm going to say peace and love. Jesse says farewell. Jesse, peace and love to you your first night, and it'll keep getting better, brother, all right? Stay positive. And listen to inspirational music, not just videos. Music heals the soul. Never forget that, okay? Good night. Support and love. Oh, Connecticut's in the building. Goon Loso. Great emoji. Thank you, Goon Loso. Thank you for all your love and support. It's Miss Kimberly. Laugh out loud. I love the excitement when he sees the viewers pop up. I do get excited when I see the viewers pop up because you can only talk to yourself for so long. I can entertain myself, but how long? I mean, you guys make it special. Thank you. Benny, see you guys tomorrow. Yes, peace and love to you, Benny. Good night, Nomads. Yes, No Man Land. Shay, good night from the UK. I know it's late. Thank you, everyone who has joined. I want to end how, when I went to the Catholic Church, you know what my favorite part of the Mass was? When they said, peace be with you. And then you shook basically the other person's hand and you said, peace also be with you. So peace be with you and then also with you. Nothing, I'm not trying to convert you, but what I'm wishing you tonight and throughout your life is a peaceful spirit, that you don't have anxiety, that you don't have insecurities, that you have just yourself and the confidence to be yourself, that you have peace. Okay, I wish that for you. I wish that for myself. So peace be with you. Go in peace and stay inspired. All right, I'll see you guys some more.